Danite Radio.
Welcome to the Counter Revolution. There's a muffin on the bookshelf if you want one.
Nah, bro, I don't like bookshelf muffins.
You're an idiot, dude. How are you doing this week, bro?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm living the dream.
Nice.
Yeah. Living in a pigsty, bro.
Yeah, it's a mess in here, fella. Where'd you go camping this weekend, Shadow?
Went down to the San Rafael Swell.
Nice.
Did Ding and Dang Slot Canyons. I freaking love Slot Canyons, dude.
Yeah, they're cool, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
I have a funny story for you. Before we get into anything too serious.
Okay, I'm Rocky, by the way. He's Shadow.
Oh yeah, I'm Shadow. You know us.
Jace isn't here today because he's a
Mad at us.
punk. We need his witty one-liners, dude.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. We need him to keep us on track too.
All right, give her heck on the.
So we get down late Friday night to. We just pulled off on BLM land.
Uh-huh.
And got all the tents all set up on this bluff.
Mm-hmm.
Get to bed. We're sleeping. The wind picks up in the middle of the night.
Oh,
freaking
boy.
breaks this tent down.
Which tent
on
was
top
it?
of us. It was one of my buddy's tents.
Uh-huh.
Breaks it down on top of us. The tent collapses, caves in all over the top of me. Naturally, because I'm a maniac, I don't wake up.
Sure.
The two buddies that I have that were in the tent with me don't wake up.
Mm-hmm.
The wind keeps blowing through, and the guys in the other tent wake up and start freaking screaming. Seriously, screaming, and wake us up. The screaming wakes us up. Well, still doesn't wake me up. Wakes the two guys that are in the tent with me up. They look around, start holding the sides of the tent up around us, and I just slept through the whole thing.
Why were they screaming?
I don't. They were
Were they
afraid
men?
of the wind? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Grown adult men.
You should have taken some canvas tents, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Or sounds like a trailer for the pansies you were with.
Dude, I don't. It was funny. Freaking, we're packing up to go, and my buddy's describing this tent to our father, and he goes, "You ought to take a spring bar." And my buddy's like, "No, we're good. We got two tents." Gets in the car, drives off, and my dad goes, "You're gonna have a blast in those 20-year-old tents."
For
and
sure.
Sure enough, that wind comes through and
Dang,
freaking
bro.
blows it down over the top of us.
Did it blow both tents down then? Did at least their tent collapse that they were screaming?
No.
What were they screaming at?
I guess the sides of the tent were moving in from the wind and touching them in the night.
Oh, man.
And you got to remember, I was sleeping on the edge that broke, literally buried in tent. Just slept through it.
I'd have slept through it too, I'm sure. So
Yeah, I think it's a genetic gift, actually.
yeah.
But there's our lighthearted story for the day.
Bravo.
What you got for
All
us?
right, man. You following anything that's going on or what?
I'm 3 days behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been brutal on you. You disappointed? You got an ominous feeling about it?
It will be an interesting 6 months, to say the least.
So, for those of you who don't know, Biden's campaign has declared victory. Donald Trump has not, I want to say succeeded, but it's, conceded. There we go. Has not conceded. And
all the condescension in the world can't make up for not knowing what he's talking about.
everyone thinks that he's, it goes both ways. Everyone on the right thinks Trump cheated, or Biden cheated. Everyone on the left thinks Trump's cheating by using the courts to get into office. I do know this. I voted for Trump this time because he is a fighter. He's fighting things for He's fighting for things that I
believe in.
Want him to fight for, and that includes fighting against voter fraud. So even if he loses and exposes this voter fraud, then the money that I donated to Donald Trump's legal fund for this fight will be money well spent, you know?
Sure.
If Trump wins, that's just a bonus, but the fact that he's at least trying to expose this system for what it is, for what we've all, even Democrat, Republican, leftist, libertarian alike, all know that this is a system that is corruptible, and when we all feel like it's been corrupted before.
Yeah,
so I'm glad he's fighting the fight that he's fighting. You can say he's a sore loser, you can say whatever you want, but I know that he's a fighter and he's doing exactly what I voted for.
I think it's an interesting issue too, in that we've seen elections that were wrong in the past. I've seen a lot of stuff about George Bush and Al Gore's election in 2000. A lot of stuff coming up. And I talked about it with a buddy of mine, and because of the issues with that election and the corruption involved with that election, the state of Florida, that was basically responsible for the outcome of that election, has some of the cleanest and fairest elections in the entire nation, because somebody was willing to step up and be like, look, there's something going on here. And somebody was willing to fight for
fair elections.
Fight for fair elections. And because of that, Florida has fair elections. I don't know for sure if the rightful person won that election, but I know that in the future now, in this last election, Florida, there has been no question of voter fraud in Florida, because their elections are very fair. They're handled appropriately, and from my understanding, they have no issues with cheating in the state of Florida.
For sure. And oh, nice. And sorry, let me turn the sound off so I don't get distracted again. And the one good thing that Al Gore did was clean up the election. Oh, and invent the internet. I forgot. And he invented the internet.
I'm not giving him a net.
But I guess it's not a horrible thing that he's made $1 billion selling phony green energy stuff and whatnot. But anyways, look, man.
He's a businessman.
If you believe in global warming, stop flying your private jet around the world. Get in your Prius and drive. Come on, man. Come on. Anyways, not the point of today's podcast. No, Al Gore is not the point of today's podcast. Driving around in your SUVs. Anyways.
Is that Al Gore? An impersonation?
Don't tell me you didn't know who that was, bro. That was dead nuts. Anyways. All right. So, I have messages for all sides today.
Let's do it.
Message 1 for Republicans. Look, I'm not that disappointed in Trump losing. I'm amazed that we got the 4 years out of him that we got. His work in the Supreme Court alone is going to be great for this country for generations to come. I know I'm not talking to you liberals, so shut up for a minute.
All the liberals that listen to us.
Also, this election, dude, like, yeah, Joe Biden won so far. Trump could take it through the courts. Yes, that's what I'm hoping for. But even if it doesn't happen, the Democrats did not flip a single state Senate. They did not flip a single, or they lost big time in the House of Representatives, and they didn't take the Senate. All things that they were projected to do. This year is the year of redistricting. So in 29 states that Republicans hold the House Senates, they are going to gerrymander the crap out of those states, and Democrats won't win in those states for 10 more years, if not more. And so this is good news for all you Republicans out there. Bad news for all you liberals who seem to be celebrating an election that we'll get into that.
Okay.
So all I have to say about this is, look, I've dealt with disappointing. I don't vote Republican or Democrat. I vote
disappointing for you. Every election.
I've never voted for a winner. I have never voted for a winner. So this is not that bad. You know, like, all right, sweet. Plus, we have 4 years of the bull being in the china shop and breaking everything in his path that I get to look back on and be like, nice.
I think that is a really good way to describe the Trump presidency.
For sure.
Because a lot of people are like, yeah, but the bull shouldn't be in the china shop. And it's like, well,
when the china shop
you get to rebuild the china
looks
shop
the way
now.
it is, when the china shop looks the way it is, yes, it should.
Yeah.
And this vote thing that he's doing is the same thing. He's just kicking more China bulls.
And if it leads to fair elections in the future, then it is a beautiful cherry on top of a great presidency as far as policy goes.
So here's what I want Republicans to learn. All you Republicans who are disappointed that Trump hasn't won and that Trump probably his pathway to victory is very slim. He probably won't win. We are probably heading towards a Biden administration. So here's
Kamala Harris administration.
Yeah, here's what all you disappointed Trump supporters, I need you to learn. You don't have to be an insider to get anything done. Trump was the outsider of all outsiders, and he got more done than any president. He pushed the agenda of freedom forward better than any president since Reagan, and I would argue even farther than Reagan. You are stop voting for these mainstream Republicans. Get the Mitt Romneys out, and if they look like an outsider, put them in. What are you doing voting for these people that you think, oh, well, he can't win? In this state, if he's got an R before his name, he's going to win. So let's, in the primary, choose a good one, not the one that we think can win. Because in this state, Republicans win. So stop putting first of all, stop messaging me on social media while I'm trying to do a podcast so I don't lose my train of thought.
Oh my gosh.
So
that's what's happening.
Look, please, Republicans, let's vote for freedom-loving candidates, not who we think can win, especially in this state. Now's our chance to clean out the Republican Party. Trump paved the way by breaking down the China shop. We can redo the Republican Party. We can fix the issues that we have in this Republican Party. Yeah. And make it, in doing so, in making it more freedom-loving, we make it more inviting to more liberal-leaning folks. Okay?
There's one of two ways that this goes in the rebuilding process. We turn the Republican Party into something that is, once again, freedom-loving, Constitution-following, and popular with the people who love freedom in the United States. That's what it was originally intended as. And I'll admit, Trump sowed chaos in the Republican Party. By all measurements, that's what he did. Where do we go from here? A strongman will step in and take over? Who's corrupt? Who is not going to do good things? Or Republicans stand up and fight for freedom and get the Republican Party back to what it was intended, the freedom-loving party that follows the Constitution.
Yep. So let's take a hard look at how we vote, Republicans, and stop voting for these mainstream politicians. Now, time to speak to
your lefties,
my liberal homies. Okay, liberal homies. So I have a lot in common with you guys. It bothers my mom when I say that. When I say I'm not a conservative, that I've got a lot in common with, which is fine. Look, you guys had a fascinating primary this year, or last year. Was it last year the primaries happened? Yeah. Or was it early this year?
Early this year. I don't know.
Anyways, you guys had people like Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang, two outsiders who I would have taken a hard look at voting for, even against Donald Trump.
Who Rocky fangirls over frequently.
Andrew Yang, I'm not a big fan of the way he's getting on the Biden train, but Tulsi Gabbard is definitely an outsider, and she has great ideas. She's anti-war.
And is a fighter. That's the main attribute that at least in my impression, Rocky's looking at. She is a fighter. She fights for the people.
So you guys had two great options to take out our outsider. And this election, anyone would have won. People weren't excited to vote for Sleepy Joe. People are excited to vote against Trump. That's why the down ticket lost Democrat. The president is Democrat, but everyone else is Republican because everyone was excited to vote against Trump. So they went in, they voted for Joe Biden and didn't vote for anybody else. And so you guys lost everything else. You guys are celebrating like you won a major victory. Oh, no. Oh, no. You lost for years to come, folks. The redistricting, the gerrymandering that's going to happen in these state houses, you're never going to win in 29 states. This is how this system works, and you guys lost huge. Okay, so I'd stop celebrating for sure, especially when you took out our outsider. We got an outsider in who destroyed the Republican Party, is allowing us to rebuild it better, and you replaced him with a business as usual, corruption guided politician. Joe Biden is possibly the most corrupt vice president in American history, and this will come out. When the Democrats decide they're done with him and they want to put his vice president in, they're going to flip on him, and they got tons of evidence against him. You know who's been getting it for him? The Trumpster and his legal team.
Yeah.
So you guys could have replaced Trump with an outsider, and you didn't. You replaced him with somebody who was in an administration 4 years ago. That administration, the cabinet was filled with execs from places like Goldman Sachs. They started 2 new wars in that administration. It was the first administration to extrajudiciously kill an American citizen. Look up Anwar al-Awlaki, a Yemeni American citizen, dual citizen, who was killed with his son at a wedding. Was he a bad guy? Yes. Am I shedding tears that he's dead? No. But you cannot extrajudiciously kill the citizens of your own country, because that's what tyranny looks like.
That's where
if you just start killing people because they're suspected of terrorism, when does that end? Where does the line stop? That's the administration that Joe Biden comes from. And you think that when he gets in, mark my words, his cabinet, he's going to start appointing cabinet members. There's going to be a ton of them that used to work for Goldman Sachs or Wells Fargo. These big executives who are going to fix the monetary policy in this country. You know, all those people that you liberals hate, all those banksters that you liberals protested against in 2008 with Occupy Wall Street. Notice Occupy Wall Street didn't happen under Trump. It happened under Obama. Because these banksters are in government. It's an unholy matrimony between government. And Trump didn't do that. Trump had an exec from ExxonMobil and everyone lost their minds about it because that was in his cabinet. But you should see Barack Obama's cabinet. It was all banksters. And you think Joe Biden's not going to do the same thing? Oh, you bet your freaking butt he is. And don't be surprised when we start taking a stronger footing in Iraq and Afghanistan. We start looking hard at Iraq. We start looking back at Yemen. There's tons of places we can go to war at in the Middle East. And mark my words, your guy's going to do it. Your insider politician that you guys beat our outsider politician with, that's who's going to do it. Congratulations. The Democratic Party has become the party of war hawkishness. It's amazing the way that the tables have turned.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
Are you still talking about Joe Biden, or are you ready to move on to?
No, I got a little bit more.
Okay.
You guys think Trump was so corrupt because he threatened to withhold money from Ukraine. He didn't actually withhold the money, but he threatened it. On behalf of the American people and their interests and where our money is going. Joe Biden admitted to doing the exact same thing as vice president. The exact same thing you impeached Trump for. He admitted to doing the exact same thing. The only difference is his son and the company that he worked for were deeply involved. Looked like they were deeply involved in that decision being made. You guys replaced this corrupt politician. I don't think he's corrupt. I'm using your words. With one of the most corrupt vice presidents we've had in history. Congratulations. Keep celebrating. His health is horrible. He's not going to make it. He might make it the first 4 years. There's no way he makes it the second. And who does he have to replace him? Kamala Harris.
Oh, okay.
Kamala Harris will be our first woman of Asian African descent ever in the White House. She'll be the president, would be my guess. I'm saying there's an 80-20% chance that she's president. And
I'd almost give her 100%. That's a conspiracy.
So when Kanye went to the White House, what did he took Kim Kardashian to the White House. What did they do?
They advocated for criminal justice reform.
And what did Trump do with that advocation? What did he run with it?
He took a long, hard look at criminal justice reform, enacted criminal justice reform policies, and pardoned people who were unjustly imprisoned.
A lot of black people getting out of prison under the Trump administration. Do you know what?
Directly as a result of Donald Trump's
actions. Do you know what Kamala Harris's reign as district attorney in California looked like?
Oh, she was
keeping people in prison past their sentences because the prisons were making money off them. She was prosecuting marijuana crimes to the fullest extent of the law. People were getting years in prison over a teeny amount of marijuana, and then she goes on and laughs about smoking marijuana. Go to YouTube and search Tulsi Gabbard destroys Kamala Harris and tell me that you think she's going to uphold the criminal justice reform that Trump and the Kardashians started. Anyone who still doesn't respect the Kardashians and what they do, yes, they got famous in nefarious means. By nefarious means, it's the videos that they got famous on are not the way that I would hope anyone would do it. But they got famous, and look at what they're doing now. Anyone who says that they're not smart, that they're just famous to be famous, they're famous to get rich. They're famous to set their family up, and now
forever
they're using that power to do good things.
They're using this criminal justice for
reform.
Things they believe in.
And do you think Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are going to listen to that? Do you think they're going to, after she worked with Trump on it, you think they're going to continue her legacy? Nah.
After Kanye supported Trump, you think they're going to invite him over to the White House?
So, all of a sudden the Democrats are the law and order party? They're the party of, let's stick all these, better 10 innocent men go to prison than one non-innocent man go free?
Wait, so they're the party of law and order and the party of war hawkishness now?
Exactly. Not to mention Kamala Harris, the way she got into office over there is pretty suspicious as well. Just as suspicious and just as yucky as Kamala, as the Kardashians getting fame. So, there you go. So,
I want to stop right there and revisit something you mentioned.
All right.
Rocky said, watch on YouTube, Tulsi Gabbard destroys Kamala Harris. That was in the Democratic primary, in the debate. And it wasn't just Kamala Harris that Tulsi Gabbard did that to. This is going to sound a little bit advocating for Tulsi Gabbard, but that's because I a little bit think she's dope. she not only sank Kamala Harris's campaign, Kamala Harris had to drop out of the presidential race because of the things that Tulsi Gabbard said, because they were true. And the truth will shine forth if we let it. She did the same thing to Elizabeth Warren. She sank her campaign too, because those two women were not running on good platforms. They did not have good records. And somehow we have allowed it so that Kamala Harris is going to be our president. And she's not going to be our president because we elected her because she was the best choice for the job. She's going to be our president because she ran on Sleepy Joe's moderate ticket of, oh, well, at least I'm not Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
His grandstanding moderate ticket of, at least I'm not Donald Trump. And she's going to be our president. Rocky said 80-20. The conspiracy theorist in me would advocate for 100%. She's going to be our next president, our 47th president, and our first female president, the highest elected female official. And she should not be. She is not qualified. She's not a great option. And the history of criminal justice reform that she has shown is not shining. It is pretty bad, and it will be very bad for people in this country and for freedom lovers in this country.
So, 100%. Let's review what you guys threw out of office, okay? Criminal justice reform. That's a huge liberal thing. Up until, 4 years ago, that's what Democrats ran on, okay? Obama couldn't do it. Trump did it. And prison reform. Prison reform's in there, too. Another liberal thing. You guys threw that out of office. Peace deals, 3 or 4 historical peace deals, and no new wars. First president since Reagan to not get us in a new war. I'm not sure what Reagan's record was, but I know Bush Sr. got us into a war. Clinton was dropping bombs, getting us into wars. Bush Jr. definitely got us into wars, and Biden and Biden, yeah, loved the wars, and plus the extrajudicial assassination of American citizens and their kids at a wedding via drone strike. So, you guys threw out no new wars and historic peace deals that are all liberal agendas. You also threw out liberal agendas that I don't like, but you threw out government-subsidized childcare. That was Ivanka being the daughter, right? Ivanka's big push. She got that through with her dad. And I'm sure there are more, but those are huge, huge, huge liberal.
Also, the bump stock ban is a pretty liberal.
Yeah, sure.
I don't agree with.
I hate that one.
It is actual government gun control that liberals should be able to get behind, and liberals threw out of office.
Yeah. So, these are the liberal things you threw out of office. Now let's see what Joe Biden can do to do better for liberals, because I bet he doesn't. He's going to, and there's a lot of things I don't like about Trump. The bailouts weren't good, but at least he gave money to the American citizen rather than just corporations. He increased the debt, but I don't see us fixing the debt until we go bankrupt and have to restructure. Maybe it can be fixed. I don't know, but I just don't see it happening. Look, those liberal policies you guys threw out of office to get Sleepy Joe in because you hate Trump. That's fine. I hope Sleepy Joe continues those policies, but I doubt it. Given the administration he belonged to before and the support he gave that administration, I just can't imagine him not being business as usual and going back to war hawkishness and criminal, back to the same police state we were in before Trump. I I hope you guys recognize what you've thrown out of office, and I hope that you, I hope Biden does better for you, but I doubt it. And I hope you watch and you are intellectually honest with yourself, and you watch Joe Biden and you hold him responsible for these things. Yeah. I had more, but I can't remember. That these Republicans, again, I'll go back to the Republicans. We have a chance here, Republicans. He's opened up our eyes. We can start leaning a bit more liberal on social issues, namely criminal justice, war. We don't have to go full on, pro-abortion and things like that. But just the things that make sense, the things that lean towards freedom. Why not? Why not? We have an opportunity to pull in a lot more people under our umbrella because of, and I shouldn't say our umbrella. I've voted for 2 Republicans in my life, one being John McCain and the other one being, and I regret that. I kick myself every day for that vote. And
he actually probably does also.
and Donald Trump. And I write in Ron and Rand Paul, but they're outsiders. They're outsider Republicans.
Especially Ron.
We should be leaning towards their positions, though. So, look, it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I'm used to losing, so I'm fine with it. A lot of people are upset. I'm like, well, that's how it goes, And a lot of people are gloating when they definitely should not be gloating because you lost bigly, and the Trumpster could still win, but either way, he made you lose bigly. So
in a big, big way.
So Orange Man bad for Democrats, yes. Yes, Orange Man is bad for your
He's
agendas.
bad to the bone.
So, good luck. Good luck. I hope Biden does all the things you hope he'll do. I hope he's a liberal like you guys hope he is, but he's not. He's a leftist. Oh, that's what I was going to get at.
Oh.
Did you hear about AOC's tweet?
Oh, my gosh. I heard about it.
She's the best.
Let's go!
She's the best.
I hope she comes for me personally.
I want every liberal/leftist out there to know. If Donald Trump wins and he starts making a list of Antifa affiliates and he starts extrajudiciously coming to your house and kicking down your door, and I hate Antifa. He starts coming to your house and kicking down your door and taking you to a gulag without trial, locking you away, killing you behind chemical sheds, I will stand with you. I will stand in front of your front door. They will have to go through me to take you to gulag. And now when AOC says, let's make a list of these Trump supporters to be used later, when she starts saying, let's make sure we're screenshotting Trump supporters' tweets and social media posts for later use in truth and justice tribunals, ask yourself if you'll stand with me. Will you stand in front of my door and make sure that I won't be taken to gulag for the things that I've said? Because I have a right to say anything I want, and so do you. Every Antifa person out there has a right to say anything he wants, and I will die for your right to do that. I will kill jackboot thugs until they kill me for your right to do that. Will you do the same for me? Will you stand in the way of the SS, what was the Eastern German one, the Anastasi, the Stasi? Will you stand in the way of the KGB, of the what was it before it was the KGB?
NK.
Yeah, the NKVD. Will you stand in front of those people for me? Because I will for you. Just because you're side one doesn't mean that there aren't problems on your side. And when they start talking about making lists of people and sending them before tribunals, that's a problem. will you stand for my right to say what I want about Trump? Because I will stand for yours.
And if they start arresting Antifa people extrajudiciously, we will be the first ones at your door.
For sure.
Fighting them.
And
we are that is what we are all about. That's the entire point of this. You have a right to believe in whatever you want to believe. You have a right to say whatever you want to say. That is the most important protected right by the Constitution of the United States. And we are here for it. We will be the first ones at your door to protect that right.
And when the fight's won, we will turn around and punch you in the head for being retarded. But that's our right as well. Just kidding. So, these are things you need to keep in mind. And people are like, that can't happen here. That can't happen here. Look, we didn't think Trump could be elected president. The Weimar Republic was one of the most well-educated, religious, and free people on the planet. And then Hitler took over. So it can happen anywhere, folks. It can happen anywhere, and it can come from any side. We need to be, the only way to stop it is to watch it from our own side. Because if I say something about it, I look like a crazy person. Go look up AOC's tweets. This is what it looks like when you have, I firmly believe if AOC was president, she'd be locking people up. The chick is nuts. The chick is nuts. How she got in, I don't know, but she is crazy.
To Rocky's point earlier, though, she is an outsider. She is a Democratic outsider. So
sure. And I've heard.
I guess good job on that.
I've heard. I've read the Gulag Archipelago. I've heard the Pravda against the United States. And sometimes when she talks, I close my eyes and I hear the guy who's reading the Gulag Archipelago in my mind saying what she's saying. She is a communist and she will put people in camps if we let her. So that's your side, folks. You need to watch your side and I'll watch my side.
That's not a bad policy. Not a bad policy. I got one more thing. If you're done with old AOC's tweet, I got one more thing.
Yeah, give her heck, bro.
Okay. You know who Benny A. Johnson is?
Negative.
I don't know exactly who he is. I know he's. I think he's a delegate in Washington D.C. of some kind or another. And Washington D.C. voted in favor of Trump. Or in favor of Biden, I think 95-5 was the... Washington, D.C. is one of the most liberal places on the
planet. Shocking.
Anyways, Benny Johnson is one of the 5 that voted pro-Trump.
Wait, I stole that joke from Adam Carolla. Okay, go.
Shout out Adam Carolla. He said he drove around Washington, D.C. after the election. Sad that they lost, but pleased that he stood for what he believed to be right. And he listened to people voting and saying things like, after the Biden campaign had declared victory, he listened to people say things like, "I'm finally proud to be an American again." It makes me so happy to be able to call myself an American again. That is alarming, people. We should be happy to be an American all the time. It doesn't matter who's in office. And that's the point he raises in his video. I'm making the same point. It doesn't matter who's in office. It doesn't matter who represents us. We are blessed to be an American no matter what. Sleepy Joe won the election. Potentially. We think he won. We're pretty sure he won the election. And I hope the best for him. I hope he fights for the people. I don't really have faith that he will. I certainly don't have faith that Kamala Harris will when she becomes president, but that's not the point. I am still proud to be an American. We are blessed to live in a country that protects our rights, and we are blessed to live in a country where we can fight for our rights, hopefully without the threat of government control, but we might be heading that way if AOC has her way. People, I'm proud to be an American. And I'm proud that I voted for Donald Trump. And I'm sad that Joe Biden won, but that doesn't matter. I'm still proud to be an American. And he's my president just like he's yours. If he actually won.
100%. And I don't, and all you guys complaining about the Trumpster, oh, he's just this poor loser. Look, why is it a bad thing to verify that we have clean elections? If he goes through all of this and Biden, and it turns out Biden won fair and square, heck yeah, we know two things. We know that the election process is clean, and we know that the American people are sheep, but I already knew that. So, look, we get an outsider in, and people lose their minds, and he's gone in 4 years. But the work he did in that 4 years, that's another thing. Trump, I know you're listening. Because I say bigly important things. You did great work, man. You did 4 years of terrorizing the establishment in this country. And I honestly think you were put there for a reason, and you fulfilled that reason, sir. You worked your ass off. You fixed a lot of issues that we face in this country. Corruption. You showed that the president doesn't have to listen to the State Department when dealing with foreign affairs. He can do his own thing. If the State Department's telling you something to do that you think doesn't make sense, you don't have to follow their lead. The experts sometimes are too close to the forest to see the trees. So that's why we elect politicians, not experts. So well done, sir. I tip my hat to you. You did good work. You have nothing to hang your head about, even if you lose, which it's looking like you're going to. But look, man, I hope you go on. I hope you get rich. I hope your family is happy and successful for the rest of their generations, because you did good work. You're not a perfect man, but guess who else isn't a perfect man? This guy. So, look, man, I appreciate your service to this country. You did great things, and it's going to be interesting to see in 10 years what your presidency looks like, but I'm sure it's not going to be as touted as evil as it is now. I'm sure we're going to look back. There will probably be a Democrat running for president who will say something like, "Look, I'm a Trump era Democrat. I want to run this country like Donald Trump did." This is the way it goes. They hate you in the moment, and next thing you know, you're a folk hero. So, you did good work, sir, and I hope this gets to you. It won't, but I hope it does. We're tagging you in it, though. And all your kids. We appreciate the service you performed, even if you don't win the next 4 years. And you're the man, bro.
We're proud of you. We're proud of the work you did.
You did good work.
We're proud to have voted for you.
Mm-hmm. I dare say you're a modern day Captain Moroni.
Yes! Trump. Oh, shit.
All right, folks. I think we've pushed the crap out of this issue. What do you think?
Oh, I think we have. I think we absolutely have.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have a great week, and God bless.
God bless.